Hello and welcome back to episode 26 of the Championship Manager 97-98 challenge, lockdown challenge. And as I'm recording this, I don't know what's going on, but the numbers, COVID seems to be going up and up and up. So who knows, we could be entering another lockdown and get another challenge coming live. At which case, obviously, I'll try and play that one as we go live sort of thing. But today, as you can see, we're back with the Czech Republic game. And we've got some league action with Salamanca as well. I think we're going to possibly play just the one game, I think, because we've got a bit of a catch-up with all the doings that have been transpiring. Chucking the Homer Simpson. No, it's not. It's the Shelbyville bloke, isn't it? Picture in there. Because we've also had a UEFA Cup tie, I think, which might come into here as well into this episode. We might do two games and catch that in. I can't remember how it fits. But the end of last season, so we did get £5.2 million for finishing fifth. And we also had these annual awards, which I'm going to pop up on the screen right now. Before we jump fully into the episode, though, if you are new around here, please drop a sub to the channel, drop a like to the video, all that good stuff. You can't dislike the video anymore, unfortunately, so even if you don't like it, you just have to move on. You can't dislike it, but there we go. So that's the awards anyway, while I was saying that. So as you can see, what's happened last year, I don't think we had it in time on the last episode, so I just thought I'd show it. I can't remember exactly what it shows, so I'm not going to be... That's for you to look at and digest, basically. We did do some contracts with Salamanca to get rid of the big club release clauses. The only people we couldn't do that with was the mailman and the Icelandic legend. They just would not accept it. Contract rebels. They're pushing for big to moves because they want to move to bigger clubs. They're just not having it, unfortunately. We did make some transfers, but we'll do the Salamanca stuff after this game. So we'll catch up on the fixtures, the transfers, all that sort of stuff. Just to catch up a little bit though, job-wise, obviously we got until the end of October, I think it is, to apply for another job. That might give us a chance of, getting those challenge points. But do you know what? I'm stuck with Salamanca, as we've said already. I've kind of given that spoiler alert away before I've read my notes fully. But PSG came up. We did go for it. We didn't get it. They appointed the Monaco manager, which I didn't apply for, as I know they're involved in this challenge somewhere down the line. So I didn't want to jump the gun a little bit too early. Plus, they've already got no money, and they need players to play the sort of style we're sort of playing. So, not going to be useful for us right now. Monaco hired Arsene Wenger, which opened up the Bordeaux job. Didn't really fancy that one. Marseille became available, which was very tempting. But I did, again, stuck with Salamanca just because Marseille's squad was a bit unbalanced. And then straight after that, Arsenal also sacked Kevin Keegan. That was a bit... only more recently in the fixtures. It's kind of as we've been going, there's been jobs sort of coming and going. Bit of a managerial merry-go-round basically going on. But Arsenal would have been the one that maybe I could have gone for. But I'm enjoying this Salamanca team that we've put together. It's a young, dynamic, exciting team. Now, we're not going to win the league with Barcelona and Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid ahead of us. We know that. But we can do, maybe look at being the next best of those teams, the teams that follow them maybe, and if we have a good season, a bit of a lucky season, we have strengthened, which we'll see. Then we've got maybe a chance of bettering what we did last season. So yeah, so I am sacrificing points in this challenge to stick with something that's a bit more enjoyable. In part of that, with the game, you've got to enjoy what you're doing as well. With this challenge, I enjoy doing this challenge, but I don't want to take a job that's going to make me, regret doing a season or not enjoy a season quite so much. So yeah, it is what it is. But we'll jump straight into this Northern Ireland game, and then we'll come back on Salamanca afterwards as we go through the game. So we have got a suspension to our right wing back. Do we have anyone that can play there? We don't really have anyone. This is just what we might stick. Steve Lomas out there, see what he can do. Jim Quinn's injured, so Phil Gray can go on the bench. And we need a result here, really. I think as we left it, I didn't look at the group just before we kicked off, did I? I think it's kind of in our hands, but only into the extent of if we win the games. If we lose, then obviously, yeah. But we can bounce ahead of them if we do get a result in the bag. And it's going slow again. I don't know what's going on. I did do the spacebar. But 2 minutes in, it's only 2 minutes in. It feels like ages because the ticker is going along so slowly. But coming up to 5 minutes in, we're still in the game as we're about to go 1-0 down, aren't we? Alan Fettis saves. I don't know exactly what a loss does to us here. I don't know. And again, it was still going slow. That's very weird. done a space bar again, and hopefully that will speed it. Yeah, it goes. Seems to be working now. 10 minutes. I don't know what a loss does here. I don't know what it does to us. Hopefully not too much. Hopefully a lot. I think it's 2 go up. So as long as we don't, fall by the wayside on both of them. As long as we do the job on one of them, maybe, and then hope that other results maybe go our way. I'm not too sure. We'll have a look at the league table afterwards. Win, lose or draw, to see where we stand. I think there's 2 games after this. I was thinking of doing them just as all 3 together, but because they are only a month apart, so we're going to see. So what we now September. I think there's an October and November game, and then there's no more until the warm-up games for the World Cup, if we get there, as we go 1-0 down. Before the World Cup, as we get there, and the World Cup itself, which will be an episode. So we're going to see a lot of early season stuff with updates, and then maybe not so much. I probably will go straight. Depends how we do on these 3 games. We may just skip into the season. We may do a bit of a Salamanca thing. It depends if we get to the World Cup or not. At the moment, it's looking like not. But can we just grab a goal? A draw would be probably sufficient. Not amazing, but it would do, I would say. Doesn't help we haven't got a right wing back playing. We haven't got any other options to put in the team anyway. So if he's injured or suspended, we're kind of done for anyway. Paul McVeigh is struggling in this game. We're going to bring on him. We're going to take off McMahon, who's doing okay, but we're not blessed with backup players. We get the goal. It was the 2 subs combining, but I think it's the rebound was by Robert. Oh, it was Robinson the sub as well. Actually, he got the rebound. Oh, we got a corner late on. We're putting the pressure on the last 10 minutes. Can we grab? I mean, like I say, I'd take a draw. I'd take a draw in this game. Don't lose ground, but maybe look at other games as being the ones that can do the work for us, and hopefully rely on some other results. Babel scores to make it. Oh, he's got 2 in this game, isn't he? Fantastic. We grab one back. 88 minutes. Don't disallow it. Please don't disallow it. It doesn't. 88 minutes. Right, okay, we're going to let the game process itself, and we'll have a look at the table. Okay, so the FA reckon that was a good result. I'll take that. I agree. Absolutely. So in Group 9, we've got to go all the way to Group 9. So we are just still outside, but we've kept ourselves in contention. So it's Romania and Czechs leading the way. I think we've got Turkey, haven't we? So we've got Romania and Turkey. So we've got Romania who are top, and Turkey. So we haven't got any of the easy teams left again. So we've got a friendly in December, and then a couple, Wales again in March, and Luxembourg in April. Nothing too exciting really. And then we've got the warm-up games in June, just before what would be the World Cup warm-ups, I guess. So we've got Qatar. They've actually got a player. Okay. Yeah, he's fantastic, isn't he? He'll probably score a hat-trick against us. And Malta, who've got quite a few players, but not anyone any good, I would say. But that's where we stand with that. Spain have qualified. 11 goals for Fitzgerald for Ireland is a new record. Not surprising, he had none when he got here. Jim Quinn's back. I think the suspension. Oh, we got Marseille have gone for Dupont, but that leaves the Lyon job free. Now let's see, is that something we would be interested in? I don't think so. No, I wouldn't have thought so. £12 million. Do they have a squad there that we could look at that, maybe try and win a title with, or add a few players in to win a title with? I don't really think so. How are they doing in the league already? They are flying high top with a very funky tactic. Why is it not showing me? I'm going to the wrong screen. So they've got Yuri Jokovic, they've got Pedros, they've got Martins. They've got the makings of some decent players. Yeah, I think we're going to stick with Salamanca. Speaking of which, let's go check Salamanca out. So, transfers in. Some have happened recently, some have happened a bit more early at the start of the season. So we've had a few players we've been trying to get, but then we realised we did need to strengthen a few. And if I need to jump off, it's because my daughter's currently having a nap. And we're back. The reason I said that is because she started stirring, making some noise, but I think she's still off. I think we're okay. So we started off with Billy McDonald from Wigan. We tried to grab him last year. He wasn't interested. He is very interested now. He signs for, how much is it? If it decides to load. There we go. He signs for just over £500,000. Done okay so far. Made one start. Not quite been in the team. Kind of in and out of the team a little bit. I mean, like I say, one game. Steve Brown, he is a regen. He's the regen of Ian Wright. He's doing fantastic so far. 1 goal in 1. We've got Buafia, who is the regen of Jean-Pierre Papin, who's done fantastic, but unfortunately then picked up an injury. He took over the mailman, actually. I put him in for the mailman for a couple of games, thinking he was, or the postman, thinking he was going. Big club sniffing around him, can't get rid of that clause. But they haven't come in, but he picked up an injury just after, and luckily we've still got the postman doing quite well in the gap. We've got Alan Roger, who is Gary McAllister's regen. Played a couple of games, nothing fantastic just yet, but he's definitely one for the future. Not that we're necessarily going to be here. And then we signed Gomez Glaucio for 130k from, was it Palmeiras? Sporting Recife. This is Romario's regen, again doing quite well so far. Had played one game up front. I think he picked up an injury as well. Yes, he did. So a lot of injuries all round. And then we needed some defensive reinforcements. So we got Fabio Guerra, who I think is a regen, but I don't know who of. I think it might be Torricelli. I might be wrong. Possibly. Not too sure, but he hasn't played yet, but we're sticking with the defence we've got, but we needed some backups just in case. We sold a few, I think, as well, or released a few. And then David May as well, also come in for 400k from Aston Villa. We were kind of limited in the centre-backs we could get, really, so we had to go for what we could get. And then Morten Hoyer, who I didn't realise at the time, we needed a right winger, comes in. It's actually Michael Laudrup. I'm pretty sure it's Michael Laudrup. 160k from, them. Can't click on them, don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not even going to try. And then we've just now signed Nuno from Deportivo, who obviously got relegated. He was in the team of one of the best players of the season last year. If it was on the annual awards I showed at the start, but Nuno was there. So a team that went down, we thought, you know what, we're going to sign him. But he cost 4.3 million. He wasn't cheap. But he might come into the team. I don't think he has yet. He can't play in the. He can't play. He hasn't played for us yet. He can't play in Europe, which is a bit disappointing. But yeah, anyway, is what it is. Outs, we've had a few. So Rabat went on a free transfer. I think that was last year. He's since signed for Nimes. Sammy Haitley went on a free transfer. He's still sitting there. I don't know who he was the region of. He made one appearance for us and scored. We sold Aaron Hughes, 230k to Portsmouth. That's okay. Never really made much of an impact for us. Isn't doing too well there either. Mikkelsen on a free transfer. He's gone back to Denmark by the looks of it on a free. Pavlicic on a free transfer. He's still sitting there. Couldn't get rid of him. Wasn't very good. Trabelsi on a free transfer. I think he's injured for... Oh, is he the one that's not injured, maybe? We had two, didn't we? Two foreign defenders that were injured. Two Tunisian defenders. But yeah, Hanini might be the one. A few days. At the start of the season, I think he's still about 2 months or something. So yeah, he's still on a free transfer. Milanovic on a free transfer. He's since gone back to Steaua Bucharest, or gone to Steaua Bucharest even. Not back, but not doing so well. But we just needed to free up some space to get some players in that we wanted. And then finally we sold Paulo Vida to Santander for 450k. Bit of profit on him. Did okay for us for that, particularly that first season, I think. I don't know if that was us even in charge that season. It may well have been. Yeah, I think it was in the Division 1, wasn't it? I don't think we signed him. I think he was there already. But yeah, so we've done okay with the transfers. We got a few space for a few more if anyone does come available. This guy wants to leave, so he's on the list. Not much else to say. Fixture-wise, where did we go from? We started the season, isn't it, basically? So we had a 2-1 win against Sporting Gijón. We got goals from Barsegian and Michael Laudrup. Barsegian getting sent off at the end, but they scored sort of after that to make it 2-1, but then the red card, but we managed to hold on luckily. Leganés, we beat 4-0. Goals from Muniz, Papan, Romario and Weir. Not a bad front line there, really, is it? And you can see he's having another fantastic season, 4-4 for Georgie Weir. We've got Mallorca. We beat them 4-2. So having a good start to the season. Papan, Weir, and this guy, Gospodarek. He's having a good season this year so far as well. They did pull 2 back, but yeah, 4-2 win. And then finally a 3-0 win against Atletico Bilbao, which was a fantastic result, really. They did get a man sent off after 23 minutes, which kind of put a sway on the game, really. All our goals come in late, though. It was nip and tuck up until that moment. I mean, we had obviously had a lot more of the chances, as you can see, but it always just feels that little bit tense. Georgie Weir, Ian Wright, and then Postman delivering again for us. So we have got Leganés today, and then we've got the home leg against Auxerre. So we're going to sim through a few days and come back for the Leganés game. See you shortly. Okay, so here we are. In between, Arsenal did appoint a manager, so it was still available. They appointed Jerry Francis, so West Ham now need a manager. Not interested in West Ham, and I can't believe Arsenal appointed the next Tottenham man as their manager. I mean, they did appoint Kevin Keegan, so the board is in a little bit of craziness at the moment anyway. We have got an injury to Conway, which is Paul McGrath, so we are going to bring in Guerra, I think, for this game. We might go with David May, actually. A bit more of a known quantity. Not very good necessarily, but we know he's not very good. Mario Sen, as you can see, unhappy. He wants to move to a bigger club. I've maxed his price up to 15.5 million. Same for the mailman. He's wanted by Leeds and Everton. 5.5 is the best I can go for him. I don't know why. He's not an international yet. He's in the under-21 team. He's been in the under-19s, I think, as well. But we can't get rid of Franson. There's a few others on the list as well we're trying to get rid of, but they cost a little bit too much for us just to free transfer at the moment. We're still not quite made of money. A red card inside 2 minutes for Legrand. Obviously the team that beat us to the title when coming up to this division. Both stayed up last year with good seasons. They had a good season as well. They stayed up and they weren't at any risk of going down. So they did well, and I think they beat us. They certainly gave us a couple of good games. So, but I do feel like our squad has just pushed on that little bit more this season. They are young, but they're coming into their own and getting better, and they'll only get better as well as long as we can hold on to them. But like I say, we've got rid of most of the clauses. I think that's Georgie Weir, 5 and 5 for him now. And yeah, these players, I don't think we'll have enough to over or topple Barcelona over the course of a season. But I certainly feel like we can. I didn't show the league table actually. We'll show it after this game. I certainly feel like we can have a bit of a tilt at it, maybe a bit of a go. Put ourselves in contention and give them something to think about. Certainly, if we had, now I know we haven't got this team next season. Please just hold on. Another reason Nuno isn't playing this game, he's suspended still. He's got domestic suspension. But another reason, we're not here next season, so we're not going to get to see this team progress. If we don't do it this year, I'm hoping whoever comes in can take this team onto that next level. They got the squad there, they got the players, as long as they can hold on to them. They got some fantastic players to work with. So yeah, as long with Fulham, right? We like to keep an eye on Fulham, see how they're doing, see how Big Jack's doing. We're going to keep an eye on Salamanca, see who they appoint, see what they do. They should hopefully be able to have a bit more of a reputation now to then bring someone good in as a manager. Don't equalise. Oh, thank you, Johnson. To bring in maybe a better, hopefully a better. It depends on what we do this season. If we win something or get something, our reputation will go up as a club, so they'll have more attention to bring a better manager in and some better players. As we seal the win on 89 minutes. I think it was the postman. No, it was Gospodarek. I don't know where I got the postman from. Maybe he was involved in the build-up, but a good 2-0 win there. Barsegian this year, it must be noted, isn't scoring as many goals. He's doing fantastic for Armenia, but for us, he's a little bit off the boil. There's a potential that Ian Wright will be coming in. Romario actually took his spot for a few games before he got injured as well, so that's something to look at. Papan obviously could play there, or he can play in the mailman's position, the postman. So we'll see. But we've got one more game, which is the Auxerre game, which is in a couple of days. I will quickly pop back once the game loads up to show the league table, and then we'll pop on to the Auxerre game and just round up. Okay, so here's the league table. We are currently sitting in first. We're unbeaten, invincible so far, as are Tenerife. We've look at their defensive record. Them and Real Madrid have only conceded 1 goal. Don't get me wrong, we've only conceded 3. We've not done horrifically. We're going to stick Conway back in and put May on the bench, just ready for the next game. We can't play Nuno. I don't know why he's showing us available, because he is going to be cup tied. Yeah, Tenerife, Barcelona way down in 7th at the moment, but they haven't lost either, but they've just drawn a few too many. So they're not out of contention by any stretch. And the way we play, we're so gung-ho. We'll score a lot of goals, but we will end up conceding a lot of goals. And you see, Zaragoza have already conceded 12. Mallorca have already conceded 14. But yeah, we're having a great season so far. 15 goals, 3 conceded. Obviously, Georgie Weir has got majority of them. At some point, his goals will dry out like they did last season a little bit. Nuno's back. Oh, Giggsy's out for 10 months. Oh, they're going to have to give it till the end of till next season to see him again. Another little joke there about who is that? What was this guy's name? Give it to Giggsy to the end of the season. I can't remember his name. But we've actually got a bit of a. Oh, Terry Burton's been sacked as manager of Wimbledon. Obviously, he took over Joe Kinnear, who left to then take Sunderland down, didn't he? Premier Division, West Ham, how are they doing? I mean, yeah, not very good. Haven't got a team that we'd want to particularly work with, so it's not a job. 18 million. I don't think their reputation's very high at this stage of the game, though, to be fair. Wimbledon, I assume they went down, didn't they? Are they looking at a double relegation or something? Not quite at the moment, but their squad is very small. Very small. Money, not a huge amount of money in there. Not the biggest, strongest team by any stretch. And to be honest, another relegation. It just depends if there's a lot worse teams. Chelsea down there as well. So when we got this next game with Auxerre, anyway, I don't want to look at Northern Ireland. I want to look at Salamanca. We've got the game on the Tuesday. Okay, so the Tuesday for the UEFA Cup. Okay, I thought it was going to be the Thursday, so it's literally tomorrow, so it should just be one more button press. So we'll just go through that. Steve ran out for the flu. Hopefully it doesn't spread. Lyon appoint Kevin Keegan. Just been sacked in disgrace at Arsenal and gets the top job in France. Well, probably not the top job in France, but they're top at the moment. So here we are against Auxerre. Let's see who they've got in their team. Anyone we... Compan's very good. Who is it who's using him in one of their saves at the moment? I'm not too sure. I think it might be someone on Twitter. One of the guys on Twitter I follow. Diomed's in there. He's very good. Anyone else? Zetti in goal. Brazilian goalkeeper. He's getting on a bit now, obviously. Oleg Luzhny. I don't think that's from Arsenal, is it? No, it's Kiev before we went to Arsenal. Reuter from Dortmund, I think, via Barcelona. I think he was out for a few months at one of these seasons as well. Aaron Vinter there as well. He's getting on a bit now too. He comes from Inter Milan. Vinter from Inter, of course. Let's see. So Conway is still injured, so we're going to pop May back in there. Guerra back on the bench. And we have to put... How many foreigners we got on? One, two. So we can actually have a foreign striker on the bench. We're going to go with Shevchenko's... Oh, okay. Who have I got on then that's foreign? One. Who's foreign? 2, 3. Oh, okay. The 2 strikers, obviously. You're only allowed 3 in Europe, not 4. But let's see how we get on. That's okay. We've got Petit Ziao. He's still a good option off the bench. Probably, if we were here a bit longer, he'd be looking at going. We'd maybe try and bring in someone else, or just rely on like Papan and Romario to play up there as cover, as options as well. But Barsegian gives us an early lead. We said he wasn't having a great start to his season, but he's coming with an early goal for us in the UEFA Cup. Hopefully we can have a good bit of a run here, build up our reputation, get a bit of money in the team as well, and yeah, just see how we go really, see how we get on. Hopefully we can build on that as we do take a double our lead on 15 minutes. Clean sheet would be good here. Obviously we've been very good at defence this year, and our goals are still flowing, so hopefully we can make that doubly count in this game and have both work to plan as we go 3-0 up 23 minutes. And obviously if we concede 1 but win 5-1, I'm not going to complain too much. But a clean sheet, I would like to see a few more of those for this team. The postman, he delivers 4-0, half an hour mark. We are battering Auxerre at home. Now, I'm not going to be too cocky and say, well, that's us through, because you never know what we can do away from home. Our defensive frailties could come back to haunt us and the goals could dry up. We could get a few injuries. Who knows? But we are looking very good this season. Our team, they're young and they're players you don't necessarily know, but the fact that they are regens of George Weir, Michael Laudrup, all those players. We've basically got George Weir, Michael Laudrup, Romario, Jean-Pierre Papin, Paul McGrath. Who else we got? I can't think off the top of my head, but we've got some fantastic players who aren't the players who before, but they are the reincarnations of those players. As Georgie Weir adds number 5. I don't even know how many that is he's got this season now. Is that like 7, 8 in 6 or something now? Can we get... Or we get... I think the postman's delivered twice. We tried to make that joke last season. He has now done it. Postman knocks twice. And we are absolutely battering Auxerre here at home. 7-0. Fantastic. I mean, I say result. It's not even a result yet. We could actually do a UEFA Cup game against a decent French team in Auxerre and actually get close to double figures. Well, we are close to double figures. We're only, if we get to 8, we're very, very close. I would consider that very, very close. But we are going to make some subs. We're going to Petit Ziol, Gospodarek, and Ruby Nelson for favourite. I think he's had a good game as well. Just give some other players a bit of a chance, and hopefully they can just come off the bench and pop a goal in or something. And I mean, it'll probably end up being like 7-4 now or something. They'll probably go on a bit of a rally for the last 10 minutes. There's the first one. There we go. There's the first one. The subs always do it. I don't like making subs because they do seem to have an effect on the team. I think it's particularly as if they're not better than what you got in the starting lineup. I think is what it is. It brings the rating of your team down. I read somewhere recently something about that. But 7-1. We did say if we conceded 1, I don't like it, but we'll take it. A couple of players on 10 there. Lots of 9s, lots of 8s. A couple of 7s, mostly from the bench and the goalie, because he conceded that. If he kept that clean sheet, I reckon he'd have got an 8. But yeah, it is what it is. So we'll have a look where we're coming back next. It's a shock result. I mean, yes, okay, any kind of game score like that, but are we that far away from them? I mean, Parma can only put 5 against Lahti from Finland. Lahti, something like that. easily the best scoreline there was us. Borussia Mönchengladbach 5 past Cork as well. Peter, yeah, he's good on a couple of the games. Not so much this one, I don't think, but 0-1-0-2, I think he's pretty good. I think he's at Olympiacos. Julian Joachim is at Borussia Mönchengladbach because, of course, he is. I thought I said Robert Enke, the goalie, of course, famously. If you haven't read his book, I did read it years and years ago. I can't remember too much about it, but I did read it a few years ago. Very good book. Very sad, tragic story, but yeah. Let's have a look where we come back next. Signings all happening on the Spanish window closes in about a week or so. Grimsby coming in for us. I assume that's my other profile, not this current manager, because why would we go to Grimsby? I mean, why would you go to Grimsby anyway? Sorry if you're from Grimsby and you're listening, but yeah, why would you go to Grimsby? Next game is 13th of October, so practically, well, just under a month away against Romania, and then November for Turkey. Then we might do... Let's have a look. 13th of October. Let's see how that fits with Salamanca fixtures. If there's some good ones, we'll work it around. We got Sevilla and Espanyol. Not particularly amazing fixtures. Obviously, there could be a UEFA Cup. Well, there's going to likely to be a UEFA Cup game, maybe somewhere in there as well. But I might look at that one as coming back and doing the 2 games as one episode. Because otherwise, we're going to have too many episodes for this season. They're all going to be at the start. Whereas I want to do maybe 1 or 2 for the second part of the season, and then do the World Cup if we get there, obviously. So yeah, we're going to leave that there for now. We'll come back for those island games. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please drop a like on the video. If you're new around here, if you made it to the end, please drop a sub as well. All that fantastic stuff. And until next time, as we carry on the Northern Ireland and the Salamanca part of this challenge, I will see you next time. Take care. Goodbye.